I am hearing some interesting things. I thought it was a joke, लेकिन people are telling me it is real. After class. Okay. Now, everyone, tell me, how do we make a plane mirror? I pehले will take a sheet of glass, silver one side, and polish the. So a polished side and a silvered side. This entire object is called. See, just like a plain sheet of glass, can I take a spherical glass piece? Okay? Now, I will cut, suppose this side. I can also cut this side. What about the second part? One side will be polished, second side will be silver. So now, please look here, guys. If I polish the inner side and I silvered the outside, so मुझे बताओ, is this mirror forming a cave-like shape? The light can enter the cave. Yes, cave. If this is my reflecting surface, polished surface, can the light rays strike this? Yes. So everyone remember this scenario as concave. So जो भी दूसरा scenario है, which is polished on the outside and silvered on the inside. So this scenario of mirror will be called convex. क्या सबको ये समझ रहा है? To make a mirror, I need to polish one side, I need to silver the other side. इसमें what chemical is used here? Silver and mercury. Mercury or silver. Fair enough? Please note the answers. Okay. Now listen to this. क्या ये sphere है guys? Will this have a geometrical center? Can I call this C? So now for spherical mirrors, they use this term, center of curvature. Curvature. So the center of the sphere of which this spherical mirror is a part will be called as center of curvature of the mirror. सही है? Now, will this sphere also have a radius? So suppose I take this as radius. तो इसको क्या बोलते हैं guys? Anyone? Radius of curvature. तो center of curvature वो sphere का center. That same sphere का जो radius है, of which the mirror is a part, I will call that as radius of curvature. ठीक है? Now, suppose I draw this here, this mirror. This is which mirror guys? Concave. Now, will this, only this part, have a geometrical center? Suppose, yeah, this point. So, this point, which is the geometrical center of the mirror AB, I will denote it with capital P, which is pole of the mirror. चलेगा? तो सेंटर ऑफ कर्वेचर हो गया, रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर हो गया, पोल हो गया. अच्छा ठीक है. Now suppose this is my center of curvature C. If I join center of curvature with the pole, am I getting a straight line? Yes. So a line joining center of curvature with the pole of the mirror is principal axis. सही है? One more is there. नहीं, focus का है. Focus will come to that scenario. Now, have you guys seen in your camera you get this 3.2 mm aperture, 4 mm aperture? उसका meaning क्या है? Aperture का meaning. So basically you have these camera lenses. So whatever the light is falling on these camera lens ना, उस चीज को हम लोग अपर्चर बोलेंगे. तो tell me where will the light fall on this mirror? On the polished side. So can I say ये जो AB वाला एक polished surface area है, whatever light rays are incident on this surface, that becomes my aperture AB. सबको समझ रहा है? All the light rays falling on the surface area which is polished, उसको हम लोग aperture बोलते हैं. तो I have 5 topics. कितना? Radius of curvature, center of curvature, principal axis, geometric center of the mirror which is my pole, and aperture. किसी को भी दिक्कत है इसमें? Center of curvature is denoted by capital C, radius of curvature with capital R, pole with capital P, and principal axis. ठीक है? तो everyone draw a convex mirror and try to mark center of curvature, principal axis, and radius of curvature. Let's go. To form an image in the mirror, how many light rays do I need? 2 incident light rays. So let me just draw 2 mirrors. Suppose I draw this. This is which mirror is? ठीक है, this is my pole, this is my center of curvature. ठीक है. What about this mirror is? Silvered on the inside. Convex mirror. Everyone, will my center of curvature lie on the left side or the right side? Left में क्यों रहेगा? Right sir. See this. Can you see this curve? तो उसका center somewhere over here will lie. This is my geometrical center pole of the mirror. चलेगा? Now to define the focus of a mirror, I will take 2 incident light rays parallel to the principal axis. ये जो लाइन है joining center of curvature to the pole, इसको principal axis बोलेंगे. So are these rays parallel to the principal axis? Now actually what happens after reflection, they will pass through this point on the principal axis. उसको हम लोग बोलेंगे focus of my concave mirror. So these are my reflected rays. सबको समझ रहे हैं? 2 incident light rays traveling parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, they intersect at a point on the principal axis. That becomes my concave mirror का focus. चलेगा? भाई यही सिनेरियो को ही लिखना है. If you write this scenario, यही definition of concave mirror का focus है. Okay? So let me write F as focus. और actually this focus ना, it's the midpoint of center of curvature and pole. तो अगर मुझे बताओ अगर this point P से C का distance अगर R है, तो how much will be from pole to focus guys? R by 2. Center of curvature से pole तक is my radius of curvature, तो वो capital R होगा. I said center of curvature और pole के बीच का जो exact point होगा midpoint, that is my focus of the mirror. तो अगर ये R है, will this be R by 2 ईशान? चलेगा? Okay. Now in this mirror, will the light rays travel from here या फिर here? जो भी polished side है, guys, वहां पे ही light rays travel कर सकती है. So if I just extend this principal axis, the light rays, 2 light rays parallel to the principal axis. Okay. Now the geometry of this mirror is such, these light rays will be reflected like this. चलेगा? So will these two reflected light rays ever intersect? So what will I do? How can I form this expression? अगर actually intersect नहीं कर रहे हैं, I have to trace them backwards, and जो reverse में trace back किया है, the point of intersection will become my focus, and also the image is formed here. This is which type of image? Virtual image. What about that? Actual intersection, the real image. If the rays are traced backwards, it's my virtual image. अभी diagram थोड़ा सा so this is my focus for convex mirror. So what's the difference between this focus and that focus? नहीं both भाई, a convex mirror always forms a virtual image. A concave mirror, 99% cases, we talk about one case where it forms a virtual. In all the other cases, it always forms a real image. What is the difference between this and this case?
Focus is behind the mirror and front of the mirror.
Focus is actually behind the mirror. मतलब this point is actually a virtual point. मुझे बताओ मिरर के पीछे जो चीज होती है, is it doesn't even exist in real life. लेकिन the entire space in front of the mirror actually exists in real life. तो ये जो focus है, it's actually a virtual point. लेकिन this focus actually is a physical point in space. Now, second thing, can I say two incident light rays striking the surface, they appear to come from a specific point. They appear to come from a specific point. Can I call that point as my focus for convex mirror? चलेगा? लेकिन here there is no point where the light rays are appearing to come from. So ये it feels like these light rays are coming from this geometrical point called as focus. इसमें the actual intersection of reflected rays after reflection forms my focus. चलेगा? भाई ये दोनों सिनेरियो को याद रखो, इसी को लिखना है for definition, and both the focus are different. So if they say define focus for convex mirror, right? Different definition. If they ask concave mirror का focus, you will write this scenario. And suppose they just ask define focus, तो दो definition देना, concave का भी और convex का भी. किसी को भी doubt इसमें? Of reflected rays for the respective scenarios. ठीक है? तो अभी मैं I will just draw all the logics. Guys, ये बहुत important है for understanding ray diagrams. ठीक है? So there are four scenarios. This is my geometrical center pole, capital P. This is my center of curvature C, and this is my focus. चलेगा guys? Now the first scenario is मैं concave में भी talk करूँगा. Silvered on the inside and the reflecting surface is on the outside. ये मेरा geometrical center point P, center of curvature, focus, and I am just extending this line. चलेगा? Now everyone look here. The first scenario is if the incident light ray is passing through the center of curvature. If this incident light ray is passing through the center of curvature of the mirror, it will be reflected back in the same trajectory. मतलब ये incident ray और यही reflected ray. Let me draw it better. सही है? So ये first case है. Let me call this ray 1. चलेगा? अगर कोई भी incident light ray is passing through the center of curvature of the mirror, it will be reflected back in the same direction. Now look at this case. Convex में क्या होगा? Now the incident incident light ray appears to pass through the center of curvature, क्योंकि लेफ्ट साइड में कोई सेंटर ऑफ कर्वेचर रहेगा, लेकिन if I follow this trajectory, is it appearing to pass through center of curvature? So इसका reflected ray will go back into the same direction. Again ray 1. All good. तो सबको फर्स्ट रे का सिनेरियो समझ रहे हैं? सेंटर ऑफ कर्वेचर से कोई भी लाइट रे पास की तो उसका रिफ्लेक्टेड ट्रैजेक्टरी विल बी इन द सेम डायरेक्शन. ओके, नाउ सेकंड सिनेरियो, इफ अ इंसिडेंट लाइट रे is traveling parallel to the principal axis. Is this light ray parallel to the principal axis? After reflection, it will pass through the focus. सही है? I can call this ray 2. Incident light ray parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it is passing through my focus. Now, इसमें क्या होगा? Let me draw a line ray parallel to principal axis. Will it ever, after reflection, intersect at focus? नहीं रे, लेकिन it appears कि after reflection the light ray is, अरे यार क्या वो स्टेट कर रहे हैं? Good enough, ठीक है. So the light ray after reflection at this point it is appearing to occur from this principal focus. सही है? So this is my ray 2. क्या ये दोनों सिनेरियो में कोई भी दिक्कत है? First scenario, center of curvature से incident light ray, if it passes, it will be reflected back into the same trajectory. A light ray parallel to the principal axis after reflection passes through the focus of the mirror. Now, इसमें since everything is virtual, it is appearing to occur from this focus. सही है? Okay. Now तीसरा, बहुत कम जगह है. Okay, let me draw it like this. An incident, अरे यार, suppose an incident light ray is passing through the focus. Let me call this ray 3. After reflection, क्या होगा इसका? Parallel. After reflection, the reflected ray becomes parallel to the principal axis. See, case 2 और case 3 दोनों के opposites हैं. An incident light ray parallel to the principal axis after reflection passes through the focus. An incident light ray passing through the focus after reflection becomes parallel to the principal axis. सही है? अभी इसमें okay, let me draw it like this. I have to follow this pattern. So suppose ये light ray, it's a straight line. ठीक है? Now, is this incident light ray appearing to pass through focus base? So after reflection, this light ray will become parallel to the principal axis. This is my ray 3. चलेगा सबको? तो फर्स्ट सिनेरियो रे 1, सेकंड सिनेरियो रे 2, थर्ड सिनेरियो रे 3. क्या इसमें सभी को समझ रहे हैं? जस्ट रिमेंबर, सेकंड एंड थर्ड सिनेरियो आर अपोजिट्स ऑफ ईच अदर. बढ़िया? अभी बस एक फोर्थ सिनेरियो है, बट बहुत ज्यादा लाइट रेस हो रहा है. बट ठीक है, आई एम यूजिंग दिस ब्लू कलर. ठीक है, let me draw a line ray which is striking the pole. So actually, if you draw a normal here, this is my angle of incidence. सही है? So here actually we follow laws of reflection. तो ये angle of reflection will be same as angle I. ठीक है, तो this is my ray 4. Scenario 4 is an incident light ray is striking the pole of the mirror. Chalega? Now in the same way, if the incident light ray, which is my ray 4, it is striking this pole, तो अगर ये angle I है, will it reflect back in such a way कि angle I is equal to angle I? तो 4 scenarios for both the mirrors, सबको समझ रहे हैं? You have to remember these scenarios कि when I draw the ray diagrams, अगर center of curvature pass किया तो reflects in the same trajectory, parallel to the principal axis passes through the focus, incident ray passing through the focus becomes parallel to the principal axis, and fourth वाला a light ray striking the pole of the mirror, angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. अभी बहुत मैंने चारों रूल्स लिख दिए यार, सबको दिख रहा है? Is this visible properly? Everyone please note this one. Now we just discussed if a light ray passes to the center of curvature, उसका reflected कहाँ पे जाएगा? In the same direction. So अभी if I take a concave mirror, ये जो center of the mirror क्या बोलते हैं? Pole, and center of the sphere is center of curvature. ठीक है? Now suppose I take a beam of light. Beam of light क्या होता है? A collection of multiple light rays. And let me mark this principal focus. या फिर focus. Now what happens if I take a plane which is normal to the principal axis and passing through this focus F, and the parallel beam of light is inclined, मतलब it is at some angle. Let me draw some light rays. चलेगा इस? So now सबको समझ रहा है? A parallel beam of light striking this mirror at an inclined angle. Inclined मतलब it is not parallel to the principal axis. Now actually what they observed was all these light rays were getting concentrated. Suppose अभी है, अच्छा इसका बताओ इस trajectory. Where will this light ray go? Back in the same direction, right? What about this light ray passing through the focus? Parallel to the principal axis. So if I draw this, will the ray look like this? Focus से आई and it became parallel to the principal axis. Now the other two light rays So actually what they saw was all these parallel light rays, मतलब a beam of light, it is getting concentrated over this point, which is normal to the focus. ठीक है? तो ये जो point है, this is very useful for you have actually, of course not, no one has gone through surgery here. लेकिन have you seen a doctor uses some mirror here? So what happens? All the light rays. Suppose यहाँ पे you have some like ठीक है, और some maybe whatever other body part. So to focus the light rays at this specific point, we take a parallel beam of light striking the mirror. After reflection, ये जो point है, this point is on the focal plane of the mirror. Why are you guys laughing? इसको भूल जाओ, ठीक है? So please write the definition. Focal plane का. A plane, it has to be a plane. A plane perpendicular to the principal axis. A plane perpendicular to the principal axis and passing through the focus. of the mirror. A plane which is perpendicular to the principal axis and passing through the focus of the mirror, but that plane becomes the focal plane of the mirror.
Is the plane like a
जो convex वाला है ना, just do that as homework. Now next topic बहुत important है, guys देखो. relation between object position and image position. और सब लोग look on the board, ये बहुत important है. How to memorize all this in the object position and image position. Suppose I am doing this for concave. Okay. First scenario, if the object is at infinity, so will the image be formed at focus? Just look at this pattern. Second, suppose beyond center of curvature, capital C. So between focus and center of curvature. Now, at center of curvature, at center. Fourth scenario is between center of curvature and focus. तो ये बनेगा beyond center of curvature. Can you guys see some pattern here? Look at point number 1, point number 2, and point number 4 and point number 5. Are they interchanging their positions? जब ऑब्जेक्ट इंफिनिटी पे तो इमेज फोकस पे. लुक एट पॉइंट नंबर 5. जब ऑब्जेक्ट फोकस पे तो इज द इमेज एट इंफिनिटी. तो 1 and 5 are opposites of each other. Look at 2 and 4 is beyond center, मतलब beyond center of curvature, मतलब center of curvature के just थोड़ा सा और पीछे रहता है. The image is always formed between focus and center of curvature. Look at point number 4. Have the object and image position interchanged. So between center of curvature and focus, my image is always formed beyond center of curvature. Now there are two more scenarios which you have to memorize sadly. लेकिन ये 5 अगर सेंटर ऑफ कर्वेचर पे इमेज ऑब्जेक्ट है तो इमेज भी वहां पे ही बनेगा फॉर कॉन्केव मिरर. नाउ जस्ट सिनेरियो नंबर 6 एंड सिनेरियो नंबर 7 एट फार डिस्टेंस. तो पता है तुम लोग बोलेंगे सर ये एट फार डिस्टेंस एंड एट इंफिनिटी दे लुक लाइक द सेम सिनेरियोस लेकिन डिफरेंस है. सी suppose the sun, how far is it from our earth? बहुत दूर है. So that is my infinite distance. लेकिन suppose a tree which is like at 30 meters from the mirror, you can call that tree is at a very far distance. इसमें image is formed at focal plane. अभी मैंने focal plane का बताया जो जहां पे concentration of all the light rays जो हो रही थी. It is this scenario. चलेगा? And the last between F and O. This scenario is the scenario in which the mirror, a concave mirror, forms a virtual image. तो मुझे बताओ. I was going to ask that question. अगर image is virtual, where will the image be? Behind the mirror. So can I write this as behind the mirror? Can you guys memorize all of these? बस 6 और 7 को याद करना है. 1 2 3 4 5 follow a pattern list and remember this as virtual image का scenario. अगर focus और pole of the mirror के बीच में ना, you will get a virtual image which is behind the mirror. Time guys. 58 ठीक है. Look here. Convex. Convex का सिंपल है. You only have two scenarios. पहला है object position and image position. Suppose the object is placed at again the sun. So the image is at focus. ठीक है? At any other position, मतलब तुम कहाँ पे हो? Center of curvature, between center of curvature and focus. Keep it at any other position except infinity. You will get the image at between pole and focus. सिर्फ दो ही सिनारियोज है. सो कॉन्वेक्स के रे डायग्राम सिंपल है. You only have to memorize these two. लेकिन कॉनकेव के look at the scenarios. I have 7 scenarios. You have to memorize all the 7, but you can use this trick for the first time. सही है? चलेगा? Please don't do this. तुमने को लास्ट से बता रहा तो सब लोग को याद है क्या वैसे? तो भाई इस साल प्लीज भाई इस साल ये मेमोराइज करना है मिस्टर अनवित. तो लास्ट से क्या करें? रट्टा मारें. क्या करें? मेमोराइज. टाइम.
Check the line, 1, 2, ICSE's on the track. 9th and 10th grade, ain't no turning back. Start with the basics, measurements, the key. From the meter to the gram, for you and for me. Got motions, equations, a cinematic flow. V plus U plus it, you already know. Newton's 3 laws, straight out the gate. For every action, a reaction awaits. Work and energy, they're part of the deal. Conservation's a fact, this is all for real. Power is the rate, the speed of the game. Physics is the truth, shout loud its name. This ain't just a subject, it's a lyrical rhyme. ICSE physics, we're doing the time. From the force to the field, yeah, we understand the laws of the universe right in our hand. Yo, this is the physics rap. Drop the beat, making complex concepts sound so sweet.